Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on another edition of Quinte Connection. Well, lots of updates to share with you today, but first joining us, the host of Senior Support on your TV, Quinte right here, is Debbie MacDonald Moynes from Prince Edward County Community Care for Seniors Association. Debbie, thanks so much for joining us. Great to have you back with us.
Thanks, Lindsey. Great to be here.
Lots of things happening with the pandemic and funding, so what kind of updates can you provide for us about the organization?
Well, why don't we first talk about the update from MPP Todd Smith that came in recently. He announced some funding for our active living programs. And I can tell you, Lindsey, those active living programs have sure been active since we started the pandemic. And we changed everything. When the pandemic hit, we had to move everything online. We are having webinars so many times a week now. We've got so many things for seniors to do, and we welcome more people to that. Even people that don't have a computer, they can call in now on their phone.
Good to hear. So everything on Zoom, Debbie, how has it been working from a technical aspect?
It's been working very well, Lindsey. We've had some seniors that are new to it. Well, let's be real. We're all new to Zoom.
Exactly.
back last year, pretty well. Everybody learned what it was, and we had to take it up. So it's not just older adults that are new to using that. And so once we got it all figured out, we had a few volunteers that would help seniors, anyone that identified they needed some help. We provide that help. And you know what? They've just taken off with it. It gives us an opportunity to have all kinds of interesting speakers and just so many things that we can do that we weren't doing before that hadn't even really occurred to us.
So in terms of the elements of programming, what's being offered, especially in the next coming weeks or so?
Well, you know, we found Terry Sprague is the naturalist from Prince Edward County, really a person that people like to hear from. And he's going to be talking about early spring insects coming up in April, a full hour on insects. And, you know, Terry makes all of those things very, very interesting. He has so many photographs from his lifetime of work out in nature. So it's really great. We're going to have a Macaulay virtual tour, Macaulay House virtual tour, where we're having someone from the archives come and talk about days past in Prince Edward County. The model railroaders in Picton are going to be doing an hour-long webinar for us. We're having the Better Business Bureau talk about frauds and scams. We're playing bingo. I mean, the list really does go on. And so we direct people to our activity calendar on our website, where they can find all the details of everything that's coming up. Not just in April, but in every month coming. We've got all kinds of things for people to do and participate in.
Is there fees associated with this? And if you sign up for one thing, do you have to be committed for the full program or session?
Well, now that's a good question. Now, Lindsey, last year we waived the membership fee in our active living program. It's only $25 a year, but we waived it starting the 1st of April because we have to fundraise. Some of the funding comes from the province, but we do have to fundraise. So we thought, well, you know, $25 a year is really only just over $2 a month. And so maybe people would see their way clear to have a membership in our active living program. So that takes place April the 1st, and we'll prorate it for anybody that joins after that. Some of the programs do have a fee, like we have a Joy of watercolor journaling workshop coming up, and that does have a fee for supplies and things like that. But all the webinars, they're all free. People just participate, and they're just a one-off. So it's not a series with Terry Sprague about the insects. You sign up to hear about those early spring insects, and then the person who signed up just comes to the event.
In your work with the association, Debbie, what's the biggest lesson that you've been reflecting on, especially during the course of the year in the pandemic? Anything that stick out with you?
Oh, Lindsey, you know what? We have had to change so many things. Change is constant. It's from one day to the next. And we provide all kinds of other services to help seniors live at home. We provide hot and frozen meals on wheels. Volunteers used to go to the door, they'd knock, they'd go in, and they'd put that meal on the senior's table and they would talk to them. Now, of course, we can't do that. They have to hang it in a bag on the door and step back and wait until the person comes to the door. So, you know, we've had to adapt. We've had to just, in everything that we do. But one of the things I wanted to tell you about, Lindsey, is transportation for seniors to get their vaccination. And that is something that the agencies like Prince Edward Community Care, there's other community care agencies in Hastings and Prince Edward, other in Hastings. And those agencies we are all providing transportation with volunteers who will stay with the senior before and after the vaccination, so that they can get there and get their vaccination. That's something that we've all put into place very quickly, and it's very important.
Are you seeing a boost in calls from seniors that are interested but might not necessarily thought about the association before the pandemic?
Well, you know, social isolation, Lindsey, is has such an impact on people. And we made almost 2,000 calls to our clients on our roster early in the pandemic. Everyone was very brave. Oh yes, it's fine. We're doing okay. I don't think any of us knew what we were in for. And now, as this has dragged on during the winter months when it's dull and dark and you can't get out the same, and especially for people that are used to the warmer climate that they couldn't go to this year, we've had people reaching out in numbers that we haven't had before. But we have, like I said, we have volunteers to respond. We have been able to adapt our programming, and we're really moving forward. So we're trying to respond to everyone that calls us.
What keeps you going these days in terms of your energy and momentum, especially as we get to the finish line of this eventually?
The finish line, well, we'll have to keep thinking about the finish line. You know, I have to say that here at Prince Edward Community Care, and in many of the community agencies, you know, the commitment is there to support the people that we support, to live at home, to live safely, to find their way through this. You know, we're all in it together. It's difficult, but we have a very strong but small team here, and our team includes our 8 staff members and our 7 foot care nurses and our 8 board members, along with almost 400 volunteers, and like I said, room for more. So we have a team that kind of you know, we talk on a regular basis. We support each other. We keep going because we know how important the work is that we do.
Well, thanks so much for all the work that you and your team are doing. Once again, Debbie MacDonald Moynes, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Well, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to have you on finally.